There's a full moon over Tulsa. I hope that it's shining on you. The nights are getting cold in Cherokee County. There's a blue northern passing through. I remember green eyes and a rancher's daughter, but remember is all that I...
Welcome back to all of you watching this video on Unique, Oklahoma. Today is the 6th Stagecoach stop on the historic Butterfield Overland Mail Stagecoach route. I shared with you at the beginning of this series back in June that my goal was to make it to 6 of the 12 Stagecoach stops. And when I said that, in my mind, I was thinking that summer was going to be the end of my break from school. And so I start back to teaching this Wednesday, August 14th. So in my mind, I was successful to get the 6 first stations in, but we know that summer lasts until around September 23rd, somewhere in that area. So either way we go, I was able to get the 6 stations in. Now, I probably will not get the 6 locations of the 6 iron bridges on the Beale Wagon Road, but I think that I can get the first 5 done by the beginning or by the end of the official end of summer around September 23rd. So keep looking for those videos, and I should have the 2nd iron bridge location next week. All right, enough of all that stuff. Thanks again for joining me. Let's get right to it. As you'll see, the 6th station is called Blackburn Station. Now, if you I know that you've slept in the last 3 weeks since I did the last video, but so just to remind you, the 5th station was called Pusley Station. I was not able to find that or what was left of the marker, but I have come to learn that I might have been in the wrong location. So that is a future video for me to do, is to find that the correct location of Pusley's. But I was in the area, and if you recall, it was southeast of Hartshorn, Oklahoma. Let me switch to a Google map where I have all of the locations marked. I have used this throughout the summer. So let me go there now. All right, to give you perspective, this is Fort Smith, Arkansas, right on the state line. Here is Lake Eufaula. Here is Shakota on I-40. And if I move that, there is Henrietta on I-40. So to kind of give you an idea. So just a quick refresher. The mail stagecoach would have left Fort Smith and went to the first stop outside of Spiro called Walker Station. And you can see it's moving southwest. And then we leave Walker and we come to the next station called Traherne Station. That is another future visit because I could not find that marker because of all the high weeds that were surrounding it back in June. From Trahernes, we head southwest on our way to Holloway Station. But remember, before you got to Holloway, there was an unofficial stop called the Edwards Store. And then Edwards Store was just 5 miles from the Holloway Station, which is outside of Red Oak, Oklahoma. That marker is intact, and you can see it very clearly from the road, just a few yards out into a little field. From Holloway's, we would leave and continuing to head south, southwest, we would end up at Riddle Station in Luty, Oklahoma, which is a little community right next to Wilburton. The stagecoach would then leave Riddle Station and continuing southwest on its way to the 5th stop, would stop at a little community called Mountain Station. All that remains now is a cemetery, but it was another unofficial stop. From there, you'd leave and then you'd make it to Pusley's Station. So today, we are going to leave Pusley's, continuing southwest for 17 miles to the 6th stop, which is the Blackburn Station. And there is a marker there, but as you can see, there is no bronze plaque. And we'll head that way just in a few moments. Now, there's nothing really exciting to share about Blackburn Station, except let me just share an anecdote that was in a 2019 article of the Chronicles of Oklahoma. Specifically this edition. But I've mentioned the name of Susan Dragoo, who has traveled the whole route and written about it and just recently released a book on it. I'll put some links in the comments. But in the article in that edition of the Chronicles of Oklahoma, she shares an account from 1958. A historian and some people went over the route in 1958, and what they wrote, I'm just going to paraphrase, what they wrote about that 17-mile stretch from Pusley's to Blackburn's was that they went through a valley called the Ty Valley in the Ouachita Mountains. And for the biggest part of that traveling, they were on a large ranch. I think it was called the Watts Ranch. And all that went through it was a single dirt road. There was no houses or buildings, no electric poles. Now, again, this is in 1958. And they said it was almost like you were back at the actual time of the stagecoach route. You could still see remnants. You could still see where the stagecoaches traveled. Interestingly, Mrs. Dragoo, in her 2019 article, said it's still pretty much like that for the most part. So, apparently it's one of the most interesting geological areas in our state. So I thought that was interesting. But we're going to head there now. And just to let you know, this location is southeast of Pittsburg, Oklahoma, and pretty much almost straight south of McAlester. This road that goes very close to it is the Indian Nation Turnpike. So let's head there now. And I'll say a few things on location and show you what's left of the monument. And we will have completed the first 6 stations of the Butterfield Overland Mail Stagecoach route. Again, thanks for joining. Let's go there now. Hey everyone, I am here at the site of the Blackburn station. I came down that road and it's some pretty hill country south and a little south east of McAlester. You know where I'm at from all of the information I shared with you from the home base. But let me show you the actual marker. And this marker can be found, but there it is on the side of the road. At least it's got some trimming around it to help it be visible, but as I zoom in, you'll notice that the plaque that was secured to it years ago is now gone. So nobody who sees that can really understand what it is, unless you're just looking for history as we are. So apparently somewhere around here was the 6th stop on the Butterfield Overland mail route. The 6th station, Blackburn station, somewhere around here. I'm gonna kind of move out so you can kind of get a idea of where it is. I should have backed my car up a little bit more. I'm not very far from the Indian Nation Turnpike. It's within a quarter of a mile. You might be able to hear it behind me. But you can see the marker there on the other side of the car. And tree line. And a beautiful area around here. So the stagecoach would have been coming from the northeast, which would have been that way, coming from Pusley's station. So, you know, a pretty up and down route through over and through these hills. That's the road continuing south. But anyway, this is Jeff coming from the location of the Blackburn station. We made it to 6 stations this summer. Congratulations. And if you watched all these videos, a big congratulations. I appreciate you if you did that. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to try to get the next 6 stations throughout the year, throughout the fall and next spring, or wait until next summer. Lord willing, to get those 6. Those are going to be the farthest ones away from me, having to basically travel down probably 69 through Durant all the way to the state line. But we'll see what's going to happen. Anyway, thanks again. We'll talk with you later. Bye-bye.